Sometimes I like to do stupid things, and this is one of those times. This is an Armour Typhon 2 to 3S with Big Rock 6S Ragnarok tires on it. So I know this is crazy. Wow, that is so freaking heavy. Oh yeah, it made it really heavy. It feels like the weight of the Big Rock. But look at that. Right? Look at that. When it lands, oh, that's going to land so nice when I jump it. And I know a lot of you guys probably think this looks really stupid or really awesome. To me, it looks freaking awesome. I just think it's so cool looking. So here's what I did and what I'm going to do. Put the Ragnarok tires on. So no, this thing's going to look crazy flying through the air and throwing dirt everywhere. These tires were real slippery on the Big Rock. I put Proline Badlands on the... Actually, should I put the Badlands on here instead? Nah, let me just do these. Although those Badlands, these are good tires. These are really fun to. Nah, all right. I'm just gonna stick with the Ragnaroks. I'm really only doing this because I'm gonna be in the grass, so it's not really like, you know. No, okay, just keeping the Ragnaroks. It's gonna be mostly in the grass on the street, a little bit in the dirt. I really just want these tires on here because it's gonna be fun to jump it with these tires on. I did drop it down to a 15 tooth pinion. To kind of help, because I know these tires are really heavy. It's not a huge change, but these are big, heavy tires, and this motor is probably just going to burn up. I'm probably going to cook this thing. But anyway, I did go down one tooth on the pinion. I am getting a little bit of rub. You can see that is some serious tolerances, and that speed, that's going to balloon out. These tires actually don't balloon out too much. But I'm going to trim that body down a little bit. If I had wheel spacers, I'd use them, but I don't have them, so that's what I'm doing. But that's not really what I'm concerned about. I'm really concerned about that right there. That's a problem right there. So, yep, I'm going to snip the wing right there so that I don't get any rubbing right there, because that is a problem, guys. Also going to have to trim this little part of the body here, as you can see. And then even if I trim up here, right, when you take the body off, still an issue, but I'm going to take my chances. I'm mostly just going to be driving in a straight line and flipping this thing through the air. Who cares? I mean, obviously I have to steer it, but, you know, it is rubbing. See right there, I get a little rub, but I think I'm just going to have to take my chances here. I want to have some fun. You don't always have to follow the rules, guys. If it's going to be fun, just do it. That's what I say. Do it. Look at, I just broke my body. Look at that. This hobby's all about having fun, guys, so you can break the rules. It's okay. I am literally cutting this wing with a pair of scissors right now. Look at this. Oh, now I'm hitting the tire. Come on. There we go. Let's see. Yep, a little more. Gotta trim it a little bit more. All right, that'll be fine. Let me do the other side. It's pretty crazy. I can trim this wing with a pair of scissors. Pretty crazy. All right, trim this off the side here. This usually would go right here. And then just took it off on both sides. And then I guess, let's see how we're doing here. Oh, gotta fix the body. Hold on, look what I did. Look at this, that's no good. Let me fix that. What? Doesn't look bad, considering that's pretty much how the grom is set up. That whole back part is gone. Boom. All right, there it is. Not gonna get a lot of steering out of it, but I don't really care. I mean, I'm really only need to go in a big circle, so I could just keep circling around and hitting the ramp. It's not really about the handling on the ground, more about the handling in the air for this one. Got the wing trimmed up, got the body trimmed up. Not much I can do about the front end. These tires are too big, but whatever, it's still gonna be fun. It is important to gear down if you can, just because these tires are so big and heavy. They're a lot bigger and heavier than what this is intended to have, so it's not geared like that. So if it comes with like a 16 tooth pinion, you want to go down 1 or 2 teeth on the pinion, because this is basically just like gearing up. If you gear too high in the pinion, like if you have too many teeth on your pinion and big tires like this, like you're certainly going to be blowing up your ESC and cooking your motor. Everything's just going to get too hot. So just don't do it. Gear down, tire up. If you tire up, you got to gear down. It's just the way it goes. Look at that ground clearance. Look at that ground clearance. Look at that. Look at all that ground clearance and travel. Look at that. Plenty of cush to land on. Stock tire. Ragnaroks. Actually, that looks pretty freaking wicked, doesn't it? That looks awesome. I don't care. Looks awesome. Okay, you kind of get a before and after here. And, holy moly. What am I doing? Oh my God. boy. Is it stupid to ask, like, why is this not a bigger thing in the RC hobby? Is it stupid for, like, say, Arma to put something like this out? Is that stupid? I mean, it's not really an outcast. You know, it's not a notorious. I mean, this is obnoxious, but it's going to be fun. And I guess that's what it's all about. Actually, this is a Hyper Go by MJX. And the proportions are not that different. I should probably do this with the 6S Typhon, but I don't have one. So I'm doing it with this. Now, I tell you, the one thing that does concern me is like all this slop. There's a ton of slop in this chassis right now. I got to go and clean it up. There's just so much slop. Wow. Yikes. I predict this is going to be really noisy in the air. You're going to hear a lot of rubber hitting plastic and a lot of rattling. There's a lot of slop. This thing's going to be a jalopy in the air. This buggy has plastic telescoping drive shafts, so those might get twisted, but I guess we'll see. If you're going to do something like this, just gear correctly. Make sure you're gearing down when you got your tire. When you're putting big, heavy tires on, just make sure you go down a tooth or two on the pinion. Make sure your drive shafts can handle all the extra weight. The diff gears, all the drivetrain. I mean, you're adding a lot of pressure and strain and inertia, all kinds of forces now that this drivetrain is not built for. You know, there's ways that you can soften the blow, and one is by gearing down. Two is just by driving a little easier. You don't have to gun it. You know, I plan to, just coast it around until I get to the ramp. When I get close to the ramp, I gun it, I do the trick, I land. Then you just coast it back until you're approaching the ramp again, and then you gun it again. So you're really only on the throttle and the brake hard for a very small amount of time, And also not landing on the throttle helps. Don't land on power. That's like a killer for any diff, anytime. But if you are going to do something like this, just be prepared for damage. Be prepared to have to modify things. You have to trim things away. It's not an ideal situation, even though it's a lot of fun. You just have to compensate as much as you can, The payoff is big, though. If I can get 1 or 2 battery packs of jumps with this, I'd be happy. I'm also expecting to come home with a broken RC. Just got to know, you're probably going home with a broken car. So nothing left to do but charge a battery or 2, and let's go bash. Okay, guys, this is either going to be really good or really bad. Let's go. I got to trim it up. Let me trim up a little bit. How crazy does this thing look? Oh, see, there's a body rub. A little bit of body rub right there. All right, I'm gonna have to just deal with it. Very shallow turns. Ooh. Let me see if I can have some top speed to work with here. Ooh, no brakes. Those tires, these brakes are not strong enough for the tires. But it's moving. I'm just blipping the throttle here, guys. Yeah, you can see I don't have enough brake. Not a lot of brake I'm working with. I should have maybe adjusted that. This motor is not powerful enough. Really got to do this with a 6S, There's just no power here. Woo. I have something broken. Something definitely broken right there. So not quite enough power. You really need 4 or 6S or up to really get these tires spinning. There's just not enough power to do the stunts that I want to do. Not enough brake to stop the tires. Just a failure all around, guys. But I'm not done truckifying anything. I really want to make a little stunt buggy. So I'm just going to keep trying until I figure something out. There's a lot of videos online of people turning their buggies into truggies. I think I just went too big for this buggy. Just a little bit slightly smaller tire, I think, and it would be fine. Also, it's just really not built for this much tire weight and inertia and force. But it was worth a shot. I still had fun with it. Just not sustainable. You know, it's a one and done kind of deal. So if you're gonna do it, just keep that in mind. You'll have fun, but it'll just be for the one bash session. Broke a front arm mount down in there. I'm sure you can see that. Broken front arm mount. I mean, I think just a huge failure all around. Now you know what not to do, guys. Just don't do this. If you're gonna truckify a buggy, make sure it's got enough power to handle what you're doing to it. I thought I could maybe get away with it. I was trying, but no dice. But anyway, I really appreciate you guys watching. I don't take any of you for granted. I'm really loving what I'm doing. I know I'm not the best at it sometimes, but hey man, I'm just learning like the rest of you. But at least now you know what not to do here. Anyway, I still had fun. You know, the whole thing about this video that makes me upset is that I feel like I'm giving you guys a poor quality video, like I'm letting you down in some way. And I don't like to put out bad content, but at least you know what not to do. You know, I do apologize that there wasn't much of a payoff at the end of this video. It does make me feel bad. But I will point out that that's kind of how this hobby goes. Some days you go out and you have a blast. Some days you go home disappointed. You didn't get to have as much fun as you thought you were going to have. And I guess that's just part of the hobby. But again, sorry there wasn't much more of a payoff at the end of this video. But thank you for watching anyway, guys. I do appreciate you liking and subscribing. Have a good one, guys. Thank you. RC.